Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. In our first story, the crazy mom decided not to let the emergency services into her house for the dumbest reason in the world. I think you'll get your share of cringe after a short pause. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. The house might explode, but he has to play the violin. Back when I was a mechanic for the local gas supply company, I was part of the on-call emergency service provided by them. We got a call from a mother that she smelled gas in her basement. After getting the call, me and my coworker were at the scene in roughly 15 minutes. To our surprise, it was the fancy part of town, and the house was quite literally a mansion. We met the entitled mother, her sister, and son outside the building. The following conversation happened after we got out of the truck. Entitled mother, EM. You finally arrived. This took forever. Coworker, CW. We came as fast as possible. Please let us into the house and stay out. EM. No! We both stood there for a moment. Sister, sis. We need to get kid to play. It's gonna be real quick. We'll be back in 10 minutes tops. Me. No can do. You called us out because of an emergency and we need to fix this right away. EM. It only smelled a little. We can't wait. Me. If you can smell it, there's potential danger. We need to get inside. She stomped away, got in her car, and tried to drive away. Since our truck blocked her driveway, she didn't manage to get around. EM. You need to move. We'll miss his play. CW. Lady, you need to let us in. Your house could explode. If you refuse, we'll have the fire department break your door. EM. Do what you want. My son's going to be the next Mozart. And with that, she wandered off, son in tow. Her sister just stood there. We couldn't physically stop her, but called our supervisor instead. He called the fire department, and they did break the door due to imminent danger. Turns out there wasn't a leak. More often than not, these alarms, thankfully, are wrong. But to date, it's still the most insane reason why someone wouldn't let us enter. And our second story. I did something really petty to a Karen at a supermarket. This happened yesterday when I went to the supermarket to buy some groceries and a few other things I needed. As I was deciding which brand I wanted, an old lady approached me and asked where she could find the rice. I'm sure she knew I didn't work there. I was wearing a black Led Zeppelin shirt with blue jeans and Converse sneakers, while the employees there wear orange and green shirts with black pants and black shoes. But since I was closer, I was the easiest option. The rice was pretty close, so I took her there and helped her loading her cart. We chatted a bit about prices and quality before she left with her cart. I was considering picking some rice for myself when I heard a nasal voice and felt a grab on my left arm, turning me around. You're finally done? Good. Now help me find these. There was this 50-ish looking lady handing me a list. From all the stories I've read here, I could easily recognize a Karen's uniform and haircut when I see one. I could have helped if it was an item or two, but the list was around 30 centimeters long, and her attitude wasn't exactly right. I looked at her with a puzzled expression, and she said with a really condescending tone while snapping her fingers, Are you deaf? Hurry, I don't have the whole day. I wanted to keep things civil and pointed at the employee just a few meters away from us. I don't work here, ma'am, but I'm sure that guy over there can... She cuts me off. Bullcrap, I saw you helping that old hag. I know you want your break, but you'll help me first. Hurry. More finger snapping. I hate Karens. I hate finger snapping. And I wasn't going to waste more time explaining myself twice to someone not willing to understand, so I just turned my back and walked away. Of course, you guys can guess it wasn't the end. It's never that easy with a Karen, right? As you can imagine, she followed me. Don't you dare turn your back on me. You'll help me and you'll help me now. Stop walking away. I'll have you fired if you don't help me. This part isn't exactly 100% accurate as she was talking really fast and I wasn't really paying attention. But then it was when I saw it. You know those little mics those employees with cool voices use to announce prices, sales, and other things? So there was one left unattended near one of those scanning devices we use to check prices. Maybe a devil whispered in my ear, because the whole idea formed at once inside my head when I saw that mic with the blue light on. I just hoped it was on and connected. I turned to the lady and said, "Okay, ma'am, I can't help you, but I'll get someone to help you right away, okay? Is a manager okay for you? I'm sure he'll be happy to lend a hand." She looked appeased and agreed with that I win smile. I know I could have looked for an employee to help her, but it's not always we have an opportunity like this. I went for the mic and tapped on it, nothing. I take a look at it and it was just muted. Before unmuting it, I asked her, "What's your name, ma'am?" Karen Smugmore," she said as if she was somebody important. Yes, fake name. I clear my throat, unmute the mic, and say the following line with the best professional voice I could. And not to brag, but I do have a nice deep voice if my friends can be trusted. "Manager Mauricio, please come to corridor 4A at your earliest convenience. Manager Mauricio, please come to corridor 4A at your earliest convenience. Ma'am Karen Smugmore, blonde, wearing white shirt and pink gym pants, needs help finding more enema kits and 4 packs of Vagisil deodorant." I'd like to mention that this, including the manager's name, was fully improvised on the spot. It was great seeing her smug expression turn into I don't know how to describe it. It was surprised, offended, mortified, stunned at the same time. I smiled at her and said, "He'll be here soon. Have a nice day, ma'am." And left really fast before she could say anything. To keep myself from troubles, I made a really erratic way until the cashier's at the furthest end of the supermarket, and on my way there, I could see some people probably found my little announcement at least entertaining. I paid for my stuff and went home. I didn't see Karen again, and no employee came after me, so I guess I'm off the hook. Yeah, I know it was petty, probably uncalled for, but letting such an opportunity pass by would be a waste. And our last story. I have a long-lost sister? So this story was around 2 years ago. Back when I was 17, I had my own tennis clothing and equipment business. Till my 18th birthday, my dad owned the business as well. We were shared partners, but I mostly ran the shop by myself, which means the opening times were quite weird. It was open Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sometimes I'd open it later due to the train connections from my main workplace to the tennis club. And on Saturdays, it was open from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., midday, and from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. due to me still wanting at least some free time. Now, on this day, my train ran a bit late, so I was rushing to open up my shop. It was Friday, and usually one of the more hectic and busier days. Many students of my dad and members of the club wanted to check out the new batch of tennis rackets and clothes we got from the firm we work closely with and wanted to try them out. Most of them were very understanding, though, and I knew them all by name, at least most of them. After opening up the shop, letting them in, and having them look around and helping out wherever I could, I went to this one woman and child who I hadn't seen before in the club or shop. We shall name the mother Karen. The conversation went like this. Me: "Hi, how may I help you, ma'am?" Karen: "Why didn't you help me before? Where were you at 5 p.m.? God, no one can do anything correctly here. And letting someone so young here to serve, they should be ashamed." I was personally very confused, and a few other customers were as well, since they knew I might get a panic attack and that I was the son of the coach there. Me: I'm very sorry, ma'am. I couldn't be here earlier Karen: "I don't want to listen to your poor excuses. Give me one of those rackets and give me a 50% discount." I looked up at where she was pointing, trying to calm myself down from this stressful situation. She was pointing at the most expensive and newest racket we just got today. I then looked at the child, who couldn't be older than 10. Me: "Ma'am, is this for you or your daughter?" Karen: "For my daughter, of course. Just give me that racket so I can leave. I know the owner since I'm his daughter." I was very confused at that point since, well, I didn't know I had another sister who was, well, around 30 years older than me. Me: "Ma'am, I'm asking because I need the correct hand size for the grip and weight." I tried to explain due to it being a major problem for giving people a tennis arm, which basically means pulling a muscle, straining your wrist too much, and just being in pain. I go crouch down and politely ask the girl to put her hand against mine to see the size, ask her age, and how long she's been playing. All the normal questions you go to in a good sports store. Karen, who was next to us, started rolling her eyes and making clicking noises with her mouth and other noises that indicated she was being impatient. The next thing I knew, though, was her grabbing my hair and pulling me up. Karen, just give her the GD racket. This should be free due to me being the daughter. I saw my opportunity and knew I couldn't wait any longer. The others in the store looking at us quietly and smirking slightly. I nod my head and go to the back door, which leads right to the tennis court where my dad is. Me. Dad, your lost daughter turned up! I yelled. He looked at me confused, but I made some eye movements, indicating we had a weird woman in the store. He nodded and went in. Dad, so you're my long-lost daughter. I didn't know I got my old classmate pregnant back when I was in school. That's when everyone started laughing. Me. Yeah, Dad, didn't know I had a sister. When did you want to tell me I had an older sister? Dad, to be honest, I didn't even know I had a girlfriend at the time. The woman's look on her face was priceless. It went from confused to angry to very, very embarrassed, all whilst everyone in the store and her daughter were laughing. She huffed and stormed out of the store, basically dragging her kid behind her by her hand. Since then, I've never seen her. Note, I met up with a few other business owners in the area, and they all had the same lady come in, apparently. But a certain fact is that most tennis stores in the area, or in any club, I think, is owned by the tennis coach who never has an employee. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.